Hi, everybody. Thanks for being here. I'm Clare Cooley. This is the Creativity Show. It's all about the many ways we can use our creativity to heal ourselves by expressing any and all emotions respectfully through creative expression, writing, painting, dancing, making music, stimulating our immune system when we express an emotion, and make ourselves happier. It's a joyous thing, creativity, and enhance our lives. I like to show the jewelry and the clothes I make. I get most of my clothes at used stores, very frugal, fabulous frugal. And then I stencil, use my stencil designs, which are on my Patreon. There's 18 different flowers that Patreon members get for no additional cost. And you can join Patreon for free. You can buy one stencil, or like I said, get all 18 if you're a member. And I'm going to keep adding more and more stencils. I've done hundreds, over 300, and now I've just added another 150, love in 150 different languages, at least 150, which is the art I'm working on now, which I'm going to put on the table so you can see it better. And this is what I'm going to work on today in front of you. Is that there? Is that working?
Yeah, let me come reposition the camera.
We don't have that light on, which would really help me.
Oh, let me turn on an extra light. Hello, everybody. How's it going?
This is Bodie, my son, who asked me to work with him and named us Mother Son Productions. I'm so grateful. And he has a very complementary skill set. He's Mr. Technology. I'm Ms. Hands-on. I like to make dishes, make furniture, make clothing, jewelry, paintings, write, dance, make music. I call it audio art, so there's no expectations that it's like anybody else's audio art or music. People say it's music because they feel when they hear it. I call it a meditation, or a person doing their version of a bird call. I don't ever do the same thing twice with my art or my audio art, so I don't play tunes. There aren't melodies. Sometimes melodies come out and I repeat them once and then they're gone. And
it's a human bird call. Why not?
Right. Would you hand me my glasses? Went flying.
Sure. Does that light that I put up, is that working for you?
That helps. And is this working for the audience?
I think it looks really good. What do you guys think? Hello.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Depends on how close you want me to get it. I could get the camera closer.
That's probably you decide that because you're Mr. Technology. And
let's get it a little closer, and
I'm going to talk a little bit because I'm stenciling. Oh, that looks better. Yeah, really fills the frame. But I'm going to go all the way out. So are we getting?
Well, you can adjust. You can look at the framing over here on the laptop. I will get it closer, so it's a little bit easier for you. Bear with me, guys, while I focus.
Okay. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this project. That first, I want to thank the Minnesota State Arts Board for the grant to do this series, which is illustrating my life stories that I wrote the book, and we published it with 68 pieces of my art, because art is such a crucial part of my story. And over 52 stories. They're all short stories because we're all busy. Life is complicated. You're on the cord there. I don't know if it matters.
It doesn't. I'm going to try to move the camera because now I've put the camera in front of your face.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what we do with technology, with art, with life. We keep adjusting. So this first painting in this series of illustrating my life stories has really been a wonderful challenge. As all challenges, there are times when it's can be stressful, can be a little nerve-wracking. The uncertainty, the unknown can make anybody, including me, uncomfortable. But I have to admit that I've really embraced this challenge of trying to illustrate my life story, which I have realized that I feel like I'm like everyone. We're all made out of the same elements. I've always been interested in what we have in common, what connects us, not what divides us. And so I feel like it's everybody's story. And so there's this fetus in the beginning of the universe out with the hydrogen and helium gases after the Big Bang. And then there are these rays of golden light that are words. The oldest word for love here about 5,000 years ago, and all these different languages. And I'm going to add to it with the stencils that we've made with our stencil cutter. Bodhi's going to tell you a little bit about that, because that's his department, is the technology. So here's the actual stencil.
It's see-through
it's
acetate.
See-through, and this is but basically this has 18 different languages: Hindi, Finnish, Polish, Norwegian, Danish, Romanian, Icelandic, Welsh, Belarusian, Persian, Greek, Hebrew, Punjabi, Slovak, Indonesian, you just cut off my light there, Filipino, and Thai. And boy, I can't even read that one. Ilocano. I am not going to try to pronounce these because I'll butcher them, I'm sure. But there are programs on the computer where we could look these up and find the correct pronunciation. But I'm going to add to the golden rays going into this fetus that is in my belief system, which I know is a belief, which I think is very important for us to distinguish between facts and beliefs. And my belief system that love was the minute particle because it couldn't be squished, couldn't be crushed or destroyed, because it's a feeling, not a thing, not an object. And we know it exists. We all have felt it and received it and given it. And we still feel it from those who have passed that we've loved or loved us. So I believe it was love that wasn't squished by the biggest black hole that had already consumed all the other black holes, down to this minute particle so energetic that it burst, because love wants to be shared, it wants to be known, it wants to be received and reciprocated.
Hello, Meg. She said the amazing Bodhi Werner, the texpert extraordinaire.
My greatest creation. Of course, I say mine, but he's his own creation. Can we get this out of? No, it doesn't matter. And if you're
we can adjust it a little bit. Right.
Right. Hi, Meg. Thanks for being here.
I lowered the camera so it's no longer in your face.
Okay, so then I can start painting as I'm talking about this.
Yes.
Shall we?
So, Mom, you can see here on the laptop what you've got, right? As far as how much of the art shows.
Well, I am going to start out here more.
Can you do that?
I can do that, sure.
And then you can look here and you can see that it's, so Meg and everybody else can see it.
Sure. Okay,
Unless you want me to make you small and the art big.
yes, that's what I want. And even though, no,
I think it's better to.
okay, well, I'm not that interested in me. And as I said, my story is everybody's story. So it's the story of creativity, the story of creation. So I'm gonna get going here. Can I?
Please do.
And you're saying if I just move it where it's under,
All you have to do is put your hand
oh,
and you see.
yeah, okay. So
where-
we're gonna start. And that's all there is to it, is starting.
Very good.
And then I like to see where it leads me. And as I said, I've always been most interested in what brings us together, what we have in common, not what divides us, our differences. And what we have in common is we all want to feel safe, we all want to feel loved, we all want to feel appreciated. So let's dwell on that instead of all the differences. That I have to move this carefully so I don't smear, putting it over. Oops. One of the things I love about doing art is the focus. So I have to admit, I don't like looking up and looking at the screen over there to see if I'm in view, but I can adjust. Hopefully. So this oldest word, 5,000 years ago, based on the research I did, for love is Leubh. I have no idea how to pronounce that correctly, but there we go. Let's give us some. That's going to be. I used a Greek words for 7 different kinds of love coming in from the corners and kind of as the main shape of these rays of love light coming in to the center, going out from the center. And it's interesting to me that the Greek language has, I'm going back and forth, so I'm trying not to lay the stencil on wet paint. You can tell me if I'm not in, if I need to adjust, or if there's any questions or comments.
Yeah. Great. One sec here. So, hello there, everybody. Liz said quite a few things. Excuse me for missing these. I'm just going to go through them, Nate. Your story and your art are so powerful and fascinating, and sharing them gives others the permission to share their own. Thank you.
You're very welcome, and it is my long-held observation, strong belief, opinion, that what each one of us has, that no one else has, is our own perspective, our own story, what we've learned through what we've been through, what we've experienced. And so this prevailing custom of don't talk about yourself, especially if you're a woman, you're not supposed to ever acknowledge what you know or talk about your own personal story. And it's so sad to me. I call it a broken world rule, because it's what we have that no one else can share, our unique perspective. And how sad it is if we don't share that no one else can share. No one else can give our story to the world but us. People can write an autobiography, but they didn't have the same experiences, no matter how much research they might do. So I wrote my book because so many people told me sharing my stories helped them, that I thought, well, it'd be selfish to stay insecure, frightened to share my stories. Like, people are gonna think I'm bragging, or I think I'm so important, or I know something. Well, the truth is, I'm as important as anybody else, and I know what I know, and I can share that, or I can be stingy and frightened and withhold it. But the world is better if we share what we have that no one else can share, our perspective. And so I decided to go for it. And how rewarding it is to have people say it's helped them get through difficulties, to hear the things that I've gotten through. So what a fulfilling and beautiful thing that is, to help others just by giving who we are to the world.
Exactly. And then Meg asked if we have a giveaway, an Anishinaabe love, and I think we do.
They are on the list. That they are not on this particular stencil, but they will be on this art before it's complete. We have a number of indigenous languages that got included, and so they will be here.
Yeah, there's like, we're cutting on these 12-inch by 12-inch pieces of acetate, and so we've done some testing to figure out what's the right size for it being legible. And how many stencils are we going to end up having? Maybe like 10 to get all of the languages?
Well, there's 7,000 languages based on the research I did, approximately. So we're not doing 7,000 on here, but we're doing lots. And so we're gonna keep going. And there's no particular order. there's hopefully a random harmony, like nature, where we're not getting, I'm going with my instincts on where to put them and where to, and we're getting different font sizes, and we're not assigning any importance, more importance to one or the other. They're all equal. I'm probably not in camera view now, am I?
You're down in the bottom corner of it. So Meg had another comment.
Yes.
I think that as women, also telling our stories that are the good, the bad, and the ugly, has long been frowned upon. We tell the bad and the ugly. Smile and sit pretty, look happy, has been the measures of female success.
Well, I call those broken world rules. Sexism, racism, ageism, elitism, brutality, worshiping money instead of morals, putting might above right. That's not working. It's not helping the world. That's why I call it broken world rules. So I try my best never to play by them. So I do tell my own story, and I understand why women often don't, especially if, like many women, I don't want to guess what the percentage is, if we've had any assaults in our life, which I have, if we tell those stories, I can tell you that for me, being blamed for being assaulted can be worse than being assaulted. And I can understand why people can be ashamed of the shameful things other people did to them. But I decided, I was silent about what happened to me at 16 when my father set me up for sexual assault, because it's so saddened. But I decided that there's no reason for me to be ashamed. I didn't do it. I did nothing wrong. I did nothing to bring it on myself. And so why should I keep that secret when sharing it could help other people get through theirs besides help me heal? So I started telling my truth, and indeed people said that my story helped them retrieve hope, heal, find good again. And so I decided be ashamed if something bad happened to you. No, bad things happen to perfectly good people, and the shame is not ours. The victimizer needs to process their responsibility and their shame, and I don't need to be ashamed of any of it. So I am honest and forthright about it, and because of that, I've heard so many stories. Because I'm honest about what's happened to me, other people tell me what's happened to them, and I've heard men being raped, women being raped. Mostly it's women, but not entirely. I have a friend who was raped by a police person, and anyway, bad things happen to good people often, regularly. And I have a friend from Ethiopia who said in her country, if a woman gets raped, it's always the woman's fault. Well, that's worldwide sexism. Blame the victim. But no, I will not participate in that. I am innocent and I am good, and bad things have happened to me, and I'm still good. So there you go.
Yeah. I'm going to read some more comments in a second here.
Go for it. So now I'm going down to the next size down.
Hi, Sue Spencer.
Hey, Sue, miss you.
And I'll catch you up on Meg's comments. She said, "Random harmony," which was one of your quotes from earlier. Love it. And then she said, "Thank you for speaking truth, your lived experience to injustice. Thanks for naming it to heal from it."
I got chills everywhere thank you very, very much, Meg, for saying that. That's really kind. And when I described, like, I got them on the outside of my thighs and around the outside of my head and my shoulders. When I described to Bodhi where I get my chills, he says, "Mom, you're so innocent." I don't know why that's a sign of innocence to him, like something a child would do is tell you where their chills are, but
it's your rating system where you got your chills. It's funny. It's like it's like movie critics have 2 thumbs up. You've got where on your body you got chills.
Yeah, I someday I might keep a record so that I could then see if there's any scientific correlation between where I get them and the emotions that I'm feeling. But it's always something that opens my heart, and Meg's comment opened my heart. So.
Good. Well, it's a compliment. So Sue Spencer said, "Bad things happen to good people. You are a good person."
Thank you very much, Sue. So are you. And it helps us heal when we speak. Every time we share, I believe we heal a little more. And if we find the good even in the bad in life, the good is we learned, we grew, we got stronger, we have something to help others with. That's all good, and that's where I want to live, in the good. All right, we're going down one more.
Fantastic. And Sue said, "I miss you too." Yes, we miss you too, Sue, and thank you so much for all your help on the short film recently. It was really great to hang out with you a few times, and for those who don't know, Sue Spencer was wonderful and hosted some of our actors at her house and helped contribute to the film and was there helping us. And her son contributed a paintball gun and some paintballs. We love having creative families connected to the project.
Sue brought the boxed lunches up for the crew. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
For all that you did and all that your family did.
Right. And then Meg Litz. So we kind of go back and forth here because I'm reading the comments not the moment they come in. So we'll go back to where we were when we were talking about that. Patriarchal white supremacy colonizer culture is so pervasive. We are all affected by it.
Yes, and the fear-based controllers, I call them, they are also deleteriously affected by their need, their insecurity that drives them to try to control. And they just sometimes don't know it in the moment. But, well, my father ended up ending his own life. And so I think sooner or later, but not before he apologized to me. And what he said is so poignant. He said, "What happened to you, I have to live with for the rest of my life. Can you ever forgive me?" And I said, "I already have. I did that years ago because I didn't want to live with that hurt in my heart. I hope you can forgive yourself." And apparently he couldn't. But of course it's sad, but I am not tortured by it because I forgave him and I let him know that I forgave him. And so I'm at peace, and I hope he is. But the point that the abusers have to live with it. The abused have to heal themselves, but the abusers have to live with, well, a kind of guilt. Oop, that one needs, all right. That's gonna have to wait. That's Ukrainian, Bulgarian on 2 different lines, so, all right. It's interesting to be doing this and talking such deep stuff at the same time.
Yeah, it's a bit of multitasking.
Very different parts of the brain.
Meg said, so true. Bullies don't actually feel better after bullying, but they perpetuate a culture of fear every time they bully. Well said, Miss Meg.
Yes, in truth. Everybody wants to feel safe and important and respected and appreciated, and those with unworthiness issues often are the bullies. Maybe even, they didn't hear as a young person. I'm going to get on this side of this now so I don't start smearing things. Maybe they didn't hear, as I did from my mother. When I would speak, she would listen as if what I said was important, and she really wanted to hear it. And she was always my advocate and champion, and she always respected me and treated me with kindness and respect. She could be very constructively critical, but she was never put me down, ever. She only shored me up, and some people don't have that, and they can be victims of unworthiness issues, and some of them, their egos drive them to, don't go there, to go into positions where they feel powerful because they don't feel powerful in themselves, just worthy, just as the sense of primal worthiness. So they try to gain political power, money, power over others, and to feel better about themselves, to feel like they have worth. But people that know they have worth, they don't need to prove it. They don't need to bully anyone. They don't need to try to control anyone. So it's interesting. The most insecure people can be the most harmful. How's this looking?
I think it's looking really good.
I'm having fun, and I wanted to share something that I've learned through this project, that if I am, waiting somewhere, I'm not working on something or doing something, or I wake up in the middle of the night, or I feel anxious, I I think about this project and what is going to be the next step or the next image. And wow, what an interesting challenge to try to illustrate your life story. But as I've learned through this, my story is everyone's story. Everybody is, we're all connected, and we're all more alike than we are different. But my life has had some unique things to me in it, and I'm going to try to do these visual metaphors of them. And it's a wonderful challenge and a wonderful use of my consciousness. We have consciousness, why not use it? So there we go.
On that note, we got a
Yes.
comment from YouTube. The Lone Gun 91 asked, I'd love to know more about your stenciling technique. How do you get clean, fine lines?
Well, I'm trying to demonstrate that as I go here. Rubbing gently so you don't pick up the stencil right into the cut, and fully saturating the opened up space with the pigment. And this metallic gold, these metallic gold or whatever metallic color they are, paints are really most amenable to this process, because they have a thickness that allows them to stick where you put them. But you got to be careful, as I'm trying to be, to not smear them. So that's why I'm bending this up, but I don't think there's anything wet there now because I turned the painting around. So I rub it right into the letters for the language. Urdu is this language. And now I'm going to go somewhere across so I don't smear something even though I want it right in there. But I'll come back. Well, actually, yes, I will. I'll come back to that. And in designing the stencils, this is, a font, but all the flower stencils were, of course, drawings I did that are like on this kimono I'm wearing. And I've used them on walls, on platters, on furniture, on scarves, on clothing, on art, on cards. They have so many wonderful uses, which is why I decided that's what I wanted to share on my Patreon. So now I've done all these in front of the camera today, so one can see how fast this technique can go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them and I'm going to submerge them in water so that the gold paint comes off, and then as the water evaporates, it's just the gold pigment, and I can use it in a wash for some other kind of art and not pour it down the drain. I love to not waste anything. I don't have to. I love to recreate, repurpose, recycle as much as possible in life. I pretty much only buy, and I haven't actually shopped in years in socks and undergarments, because before it was a popular thing to do. I used to stop at used stores when I was out on an errand and there was a parking space by the used store and find a treasure. So I found all these treasures for, I said to myself, if you can sell it for more than you're buying it for, then it's a good deal. And especially now that I've made them into art to wear, I feel really good about it. And I made over 100 articles of clothing that I stenciled in front of the camera, and 50 different outfits that showing the uses for stencils. Then those videos are up on the Creativity Show, so you can check that out. So yeah, I love to use what I have, use the creative challenge of what can I make this into. And I love to have a beautiful home and beautiful clothes and jewelry and beautifully adorned walls and beautiful dishes and all that stuff. I've always been an artist, and I've always put my art first. And even when I was housing, giving my mother and my 2 nephews a safe home, my art is what gives me happiness, maintains my happiness. So I kept doing it, and it meant I had no extra money to buy things, but I love to have nice things, so I made them, and I still do. So here I want to talk a little bit about the fetus in the middle. He's going to get finished. I don't know what time we're at now, Bo.
It is now 12:45.
Okay, well, I'm going to see if I can work a little bit on, I did the research, and I thought this would be true, that the highest percentage of skin tone in the world is a mid-brown tone. So I decided that's what this little human being, and I've always been guessed to be many different nationalities, and a lot of them have light brown skin. So it seemed appropriate that it's the most common skin tone in the world is light brown. So he's going to be light brown, but I realized that I should stop here because I don't know if I'm going to smear something if I work on the fetus. And so I'm going to leave it here for today, unless there's more questions. I think.
Can you open up what I've got?
Sure.
Yeah, Meg actually said, I can see why you have finished the layers, giving time to dry before the next layer. So yeah, exactly what you're saying. You have to be strategic not to smear it.
Right. And sometimes it's hard, like I'm excited right now and I want to work on the fetus, but I know better.
You said, extraordinary, such beautiful art, and I couldn't agree more.
Thank you so much. Is the light shining on it so they can really get the gold?
Yeah, the gold
is popping.
Excuse me, I disappeared there. Yes, the gold looks really good. I'm gonna maximize. You can still hear us, but yeah, look at that. Wow.
There we go. And here's the nearly 5,000-year-old word for love right up here at the top. Though they're coming from all directions, so it wouldn't have to be the top, but it is for right now. And it's definitely close to finished, but not quite there. We still have another layer of languages that will include the indigenous ones that I had to look up one at a time. I was really mad at the computer because it's like, you should just give me the indigenous languages word for love, not make me have to look up each tribe's word for love. But I did it, and so we're going to include that. And then I'm going to finish the fetus, and then this is going to be done. And I love how the movement of the primordial soup in the early universe, and before there was form, and then the rays of love light. I have to admit, I'm an unusual artist. I like my own work. Yeah, I don't think I'm better than anyone else at anything but being me. But I do like my own work, and I love doing it, and I love sharing it. So thanks for being here, and thanks for your help, Bodhi, and thanks Sue and Nick for asking questions and making comments. I love these virtual visits, connecting across the distances.
Yeah, and I want to let anybody know who you want more cool stuff from Claire over here and her art. Check out patreon.com/Clare Cooley. And we're putting all sorts of different types of her art and writing on her Patreon. It's going to be like the Netflix of Clare Cooley.
Cool, and you can join for free. Members get the stencils with no additional cost.
Yep.
And there we
question.
Go. Yes.
Meg asked, how did you decide the lettering would be gold?
Well, because gold is made in the heart of stars, which is where all the elements that make us are also made, and it just felt right. And I just follow my instincts, and that's part of the thing I love about art is I don't have to necessarily have an intellectual understanding of what feels right. I can just follow my instincts, and it felt right, and the way it reflects the light, and from different angles of light, different places, it looks very different, which is like life and like the universe, until we got the Webb. Is that the latest telescope that went out there, the million miles away? And
James Webb.
Yes, until we got that out there and took some pictures of what just looked black to us, and then we saw this incredible in the size, I think they said in a grain of rice, there were thousands of galaxy clusters, and then of course millions or billions of stars in each of the clusters. It's just incomprehensible how much there is out there when we turn our light, our consciousness. So I like the metallic paints. It feels like when we turn the light toward it, we see something we didn't even know was there. That was a really meandering answer to gold, but there you go.
Makes sense to me. And she said, absolutely, you do so much research. So I was wondering how much research versus inspiration were informing your decision.
The inspiration, the feeling is what I follow. The research shores it up.
I love it. Fantastic. Follow the 4 eyes. Follow your instinct, inspiration, and intuition. And when all else fails, read the instructions.
That's what Bodhi's for. He reads instructions. I'm me, and I've never followed a recipe in my life. I am just an artist inside out. I just love to keep creating and following the inspiration and go on the journey and see where it leads me. Everybody has their own process. That's mine. And some artists really plan it out. I sketch in my mind. When it feels right, I begin. And then I see where it leads. Like this, I had it very blotchy, and then I went, no. And then I did the white swirls around it and went, yes. So I follow the feeling, and there you go.
Love it.
Thank you. Great questions. Great comments.
And great art.
Thank you so much. I'm enjoying what I'm learning doing it. Love sharing it with you. Thanks, Bodhi, for all your help.
Happy to help. All right, guys. See you next time. She's going to go live on Wednesdays and Sundays at noon Central Standard Time. In the meantime, check out patreon.com/Clare Cooley. Basically like a newsletter for all her cool stuff. Love to stay in touch with you guys. Great to see ya.
Thank you.